Hello, this is your host, Lakota Ravoc, and we're playing a new demo that just came out called Outworld Station. Now, this came out on the 19th of February, and for me, that was only a couple of days ago, but for you, that's probably been a couple of weeks. Now, it is a fun game. You basically make a little space station that builds a bunch of stuff. So let's go ahead and show you exactly what we're going to be doing. So we're going to start a new game, and this is the only playable area, the asteroid belt. You see here it says located on the far edge of the system, the asteroid belt has an abundant basic resources and few hostilities. It comes with a lot of resources. So you have titanium, you have gold ore, silica, carbon ore, and water ice. Now down here it says, it also says 15 artifacts. I have yet to find artifacts. I have played this game a little bit and just kind of tried to understand it. And it says the enemy strength is also very low compared to the other ones like junkyard, which is extremely high. But we're going to start a new session. And we're going to say mining for profit. So you can also change some of the settings, like down here it says show tutorials. I'm going to shut that off because I've already watched the tutorials. You also have global events like meteor showers. I'm going to leave that enabled. Session type can be switched between single player and multiplayer. So you can actually have a bunch of you mining resources at the same time, which is kind of fantastic. We're going to leave the NPC behavior at default, and we're going to change our station color to red. Let's start the game. So we warp in here to this new area. We're in an asteroid belt, and we get to control this little guy right here. He's our little probe, and he does all the work for us. Then we're in an area called the Tau system, and we work for a company called Novacore. So our first goal is to get 100 titanium, 50 carbon, and 25 gold. And how we do that is by grabbing these little asteroids here. So you just click on it and you grab the asteroid. Now a little circle around the probe, that is the weight limit of your probe. Now if you want to grab multiples, you just hit shift and pick up a bunch, and you see you go until that little bar gets filled up. And if it weighs too much, it will not let you pick it up. So one of the first things we have to do is practice our targeting. So along with mining, you also have combat in this game. So we select the drone and just blow them up. Now there's a couple items in the hub here that we have to pick up. Hull plating, some basic frames, and some gold. We're going to use those to build our starting items. So we go down here to build or hit Q, and we have our construction items. In general, like connectors and storage units. In resources, we have our atomizer. In production, we have our smelter, and in power, we have a solar power generator. What we're going to do is go ahead and start with our atomizer and click on that. Just put it right here. And you can see there, it just sucked up a couple of resources. We bring those resources back to the atomizer, drop them in, and it starts making the resources for us. So we have some titanium, some silica, some carbon, and some gold. Now you can hover over the asteroids and you can actually see what's inside of them. Like this is a gold asteroid, it comes with gold and silica. So you'll be able to target specific asteroids. But as you can see, it's huge. There's a lot of space. All right, along with our atomizer, we're going to start building some smelters. We'll add that, put them right there. And you can rotate them by clicking the middle mouse button. So they all kind of line up. This one, we're going to go ahead and select our titanium. This one over here, we're going to select carbon, I think. And this one, we're going to select gold. Now, the other thing is they don't automatically just produce. You literally have to connect the chains. So from the atomizer, we'll go to each one of these smelters. And then they'll input into those smelters. And then from the smelters, click on them, bring them back to our hub. So you can literally decide how your chain of production goes. This makes it really easy to lay out your manufacturing process. So while we're at, let's go ahead and grab some more ore. Just stock this up here real quick. There we go. So we've got quite a bit of titanium and carbon and silica in there now. You can see our main mission is advancing. We need 100 titanium, 50 carbon, and we've already got the gold. Now, for these missions to be completed, all items have to show up in the hub. They have to end up here, otherwise the mission won't count. The next we need to construct a solar generator and align that by dragging it with the left mouse button. So what we're going to do here is we're going to add some connectors real quick. And you can kind of drag and drop those. And we're going to click on our solar generators. We're going to put a couple here now. Okay, so these solar generators are going to generate power in the station. Now, these need to be aligned with the sun every so often. So just to see how you align these solar power generators is you just left click on them, hold it, and then you kind of rotate yourself until that bar hits 100%. So with this sun alignment bar, it shows you how well you're aligned with the sun. So that way you can maximize your power output. Down here in the power details, it kind of tells you how much you're using versus how much you're producing. So right now we're using 20 megawatts and we're producing 110 with these 2 solar panels. Now you can also notice here that there's an on-off switch. You can turn on and off any device. That way you can reduce the power consumption. We've got our first mission complete. So let's go ahead and click complete, get that over with. And now our station expanded 1 slot. Honestly, not sure exactly what that means. Have not seen a build limit yet, but that might be something they put into the main game. And now we have new items that we can construct, including matter printers, which allows us to make building items. So our new objective is to make 100 hull plates, 50 basic frames, 50 composites, and 25 fiber optics. And all these need different types of resources. So like hull platings need titanium, composites need graphite, fiber optics needs silica. Now, as I said, this place is pretty big. Just to show you how big, let's pull up the map. So this whole black area is your entire map. And this is you right here. All these little white dots are asteroids. And if we see any red dots, those will be enemies. In order to make the items in our quest, we're going to need to start a new production chain. So we're going to expand this out a little bit. Right here, make some connectors on the other side. And we're going to go to the production tab and hit matter printer. These take 15 hull platings and 5 basic frames. I believe is the last of what we have. Nope, we got some more. We're going to put down a couple of these. Like, once I run out, it shows me that I can't afford it. Let's select hull plating for this one. The second one, we're going to put in basic frames. And the third one, let's select the fiber optics. Now, again, we can't do anything with these until we actually chain them up. We connect them from the hub and then back into the hub. And now we're starting to make hull plating and some basic frames. Now, we haven't started our fiber optics here because we need to make some glass fiber. We're going to need to make some more smelters. This new one, we're going to do glass fiber. And this other smelter, we're actually going to switch that to carbon and put this other one onto titanium, because you need a lot more titanium. So we have 2 of titanium, 1 with carbon, 1 with gold, and 1 with glass fiber. Now let's connect them all up. Okay, all the connections look good. We should start seeing some fiber coming through, and you can see they're going through the tubes here. It's going right in. We should start seeing some of those fiber optics coming through. So let's finish off our matter printers. We need a 4th one here. This one, we're going to select composites. That way carbon will start going into there and making our composites. And we should start seeing that carbon go down like that. There it goes. All right, while that's producing, let's grab some more resources. At this time, I just want to thank you for coming down and watching. I really appreciate you. Please make sure you subscribe, leave a like, and make sure you leave me a comment. Make sure you also turn on those notifications so you get updates for future videos. It'll help me, and it might just help you with a little entertainment. Say one of the most difficult things is actually seeing the asteroids while playing this. Because some of them are little specks and they look like the background. So you have to look for unmoving objects as you're moving the camera. So kind of like that. See that right there? It goes a little fast, but it makes it a little easier to notice what they are. They might need an option in the graphics setting to kind of get rid of the background or mute it a little bit so it's kind of blurry. Although it's very cool to see that background with the space and the shooting stars and everything. And they did a good job with the 3D look of it, because it moves slower in the back than it does in the foreground. It's kind of nice. All right, so one thing I want to point out is you see you have a circle around you. That kind of is your area of view. And the game has a fog of war. So this black area is your fog of war. What we're doing right now is we're stocking up on some basic supplies. I want a lot of these items so that we can start building out a station. Now I've tried a couple of layouts with this already. And one thing I've noticed is that you want to have kind of a dedicated build for each thing you're making. And there are storages available. Oh, and we have an enemy over here. So let's hit E. You see him right there kind of shooting at us. They're actually pretty easy to dodge. Boom. We must have came close to his encampment. Now, sometimes you'll get a pod dropped or a storage container, which gives you free goodies. Now, this is an advanced item. The computer is like a tier 4 production item. So that's kind of nice. We're just going to go ahead and put that straight into our hub here. And we're going to steal some of this hull plating and basic frames and the gold. And we're going to make a little more power. Now, if you hit shift when you're placing things, you can place multiple items. We're going to do 10 strong on this. And when they get placed down, they go immediately to where the sun is located. So you're getting 100% strength. As you can see, these, they're only at 62% strength because they're out of alignment. You have to check on them periodically. And then just line them up. It's kind of like trying to unlock a treasure chest in Skyrim or Fallout 4. Just kind of move it in a circle until you find the right spot.
What?
But now that is producing 350 megawatts of power, and we're only using a maximum of 50 at any given time. So that's pretty good. We should do well. So I've been building horizontally on the space station. There are vertical connectors, so you can go up. So you can continue your build upwards and keep it in a tight space if you want. I'm just going to go out and grab some more items here. Hey, see that up here in the corner? Can't show you with my cursor because it'll move, but you see right there up on that big asteroid, there's some red dots floating around. Those are enemy ships. If we get too close, they'll come after us. So we're going to preemptively take them out. Now, your energy for the lasers here, it is not infinite. You do run out. So you have to let it recharge every so often if you use too much. As you can see by the little circle around the probe that we're driving. So this is a crashed ship, and it needs one reinforced frame to unlock it. Kind of like Satisfactory, where you got to unlock drop pods and open them up for items. So we don't have that yet, but we will. Now, some of these asteroids will actually have mining spots that we can actually plop mining stations down on and get infinite resources, which is really handy. Downfall is there's not too many. Ooh, small engine. That's a tier 4 item. Drop them off. Keep this thing moving. Now, I know our goal is to get a bunch of items built, but we really need them for our own construction right now. We're just going to keep on taking these. And what we're going to do is we're going to supercharge this construction process. So these matter printers are going to print us items for our own use. What we're going to do is put storage units on the end of each one of these. And once we finish our expansion here, we're going to upgrade this chain. These items we're going to be using to build stuff for us. Now, I'm not connecting these to our fabricators yet because I don't want them going in there just yet. Like I said, in order to complete the mission, we have to have the items go into the hub itself. So one of the benefits of the game is that you can actually chain a lot of items together and you don't have to worry about making like conveyor belts. It makes things a lot simpler. We're going to add a couple of titanium smelters and then another carbon smelter and another fiber smelter. The gold, you really don't do a lot with the gold, so one smelter is enough for that. And that should dramatically increase our material production. I'm hoping with the combat that we'll be able to upgrade the little pod in the base game, because it kind of feels lackluster. I mean, it's fun, and you don't get ganked too often, but I want to be able to do more. All right, we've got enough for our station expansion 2. So We're going to complete that and start getting a bunch of new things: fabricator, energy storage, artifact analyzer, artificial diamond, nanoplating, reinforced frames, and molecular bonding. Okay, we got a event, the meteor strikes coming in. And you see over here on the side, it shows that they're coming in from that direction. You want to get on them as quick as you can. They can hit the station and damage it. Now, you can repair the station, but it is a pain. Target them. And if you don't have enough energy, you can sacrifice yourself for a little blockage. Now, they do drop resources. You can see right here. Let's nab those. And they are quite substantial, as you can see right there. Don't see any more. So let's bring these back. Now, they are limited. They will disappear if you don't bring them back fast enough. Put that in. Beautiful. A lot of extra resources. Those meteorite strikes are definitely a great way to get a lot of resources quickly. Our next expansion mission is build 50 nanoplating, 25 reinforced frames, and 10 artificial diamond. So we're going to start building a new chain of items. First off, a new matter printer here, and we're going to select artificial diamonds. They use carbon, so we're going to use a lot more carbon very quickly. Now we're going to clear the connections on these guys. Okay. That's not working. It says X to clear all, and it's not clearing them. Bug! Alright, well, we're going to bring these into here. Now we just got to warn our solar generators are out of alignment. Generally, if you're like 75% or less on the alignment, it will warn you. So we're just going to go ahead and shift these over. And next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some fabricators. To do that, we're going to make a production chain. I'm going to put this matter printer here. And I'm going to add a fabricator to it. This fabricator, we're going to make nanoplating. It needs hull plating and molecular bonding. Molecular bonding is something we need from the smelters. So we're just going to add a couple of new smelters. And it needs silica in order to make. So select those, get our connection. Now get more silica. Those will also generate us the molecular bonding. So in this matter printer, I want to select hull plating. So that way it directly feeds into this fabricator. Go ahead and connect resources here and here. And then this one into the fabricator. And then this fabricator will go back to our hub. At the same time, we're storing up items for us to actually use. So we're going to do another fabricator here with a matter printer. Now this fabricator, we're going to build reinforced frames. That needs basic frames and molecular bonding. So in this matter printer, we're going to select basic frames. And then connect all those up once again. So this is going to start eating titanium pretty quickly. Now you're wondering, why don't you just make one production chain for each item? Well, I found out you need a lot of resources to build items. And you need a lot of basic items in order to do that. So you need to have a production chain of the basic items going into storage. Now, all the while you're grabbing all these little asteroids, you are discovering new locations. Kind of like this station over here, which you don't want to stay there too long. I'm going to get attacked. So now we got rid of those plasma turrets. We just destroy the rest of the buildings. And we can actually pick up all the pods. Now you can hit B just to move everything without having to collect the pods, which is really handy. And we check on our map. Nope, that is not a mining area. This one over here is, though. This is a silica node. So let's go ahead and just destroy what's ever on there. This silica node we can eventually put a mining station down on, and we can generate silica all the time. We won't have to worry about getting silica from asteroids anymore. So the more of the map you explore, the more you'll uncover, and the more things like those nodes or those crashed ships you'll be able to find. Now, considering I can't change these connections so they don't go back into the hub, I'm going to just destroy all these and rebuild them so they don't have that hub connection anymore. And you can easily do that by selling the items, and you get the materials back. Now, if all this having to rebuild all this crap all over again. All right. Rebuilt. with our connections going one direction now. So we should be able to store a bunch of stuff. Just our solar array again. I'm hoping there's a way to automate this in the base game. Oh, meteor strike coming in down here. Let's go take care of that. Oh, be careful of the nebula there. Right, that's going far. I can hear them over there. There's one, two. Ah, energy. Sacrifice must be made. Now we're doing well. It's going to take a little while for these to build up because we need the dedicated chain. All right, let's just keep force feeding some materials in there. Whoa, nope. Now, pro tip, make sure you're hovering directly above the atomizer before you let go. It does have a tendency to just eat them away if you don't. The only thing that's really holding us back is that molecular bonding. Forcing the nanoplate needs 12 in order for it to make one. So we need to find a lot more silica. Now, another little thing on the maps, you can actually go down to the system and see the entire system. So there's your G-class star, Tau. We're actually down here in the asteroid belt. And these are going to be the other areas, I assume, that we're going to be able to access. So you have the alpha one. There's the asteroid belt beta and gamma. You have an ice planet, a gas giant, a lava planet, and another gas giant. And I'm pretty sure they named these things after constellations or stars because Scylla is, if I'm not mistaken, a star. And so is Cerberus. Titania, I believe, is one of the moons around Saturn or Jupiter. But yeah, so you can see there's actually a lot of versatility to this game that will be coming down the road. Now, for right now, we have a clear goal. We have to get to Station Expansion 4 and complete that to complete the demo. We're going to take out this little nugget right here. Oh, a little damage. That's okay. There was only one. I'm trying to find another node planet. There's carbon ore over here. I'll probably take that one out. This way? As far as the enemies are concerned, I don't think they come back. Once you destroy them, they're gone. I believe they are going to add waves of enemies into the game eventually. Oh, there it is. A little carbon patch right there. So that's already cleared out, thankfully. Now, some we're going to add to this right now. Let's add a vertical connector right there with some horizontal ones. And we're going to add some energy storage. Why can't I import fiber optics? This way we can keep power going in case we happen to not get to our solar panels in time. Now you would think that shading them from the sun would cause these solar power generators to be a problem. Nope. They just keep gathering the sun regardless if you have shade or not. But whatever power you're making, if there's any excess, it will get stored in the batteries and we can store up to 5,000 units of power. So in case we can't get to it in time, it will keep it running at a more efficient rate. We're about 7 nanoplating away from completing this mission. What we're going to do is we're actually going to power off the reinforced frames. That way everything goes straight to the nanoplating fabricator. Oh, we got some enemies over here. Nice. Here's a new thing. These derelict ships. They also take something to unlock, but they also carry resources. Not in terms of just pods, but debris, which give you titanium ore. And they're usually a lot lighter than asteroids. So snag up as much as you can that's around it and bring them back. We've got our nanoplating in. Go ahead and complete that mission, get to the next expansion. Okay, so now we have ships unlocked. We now have a new range of modules, items, and parts. We can also automate raw material extraction by making miners. And we can also make a small shipyard. So now we have to build some Aeon hoppers. Once we build those 5 ships and 25 computers, then we'll finish. And we have a new meteor strike coming, so let's go ahead and take that out. Now let's go see what we need for those mineral extractors. So for miners, we need 15 nanoplating, 5 reinforced frames, 5 fiber optics, and 1 computer. So we have to build computers. Let's build a matter printer here and a fabricator. Now we have circuit boards, computers, and small engines, all things that we'll have to build. So let's make this one as circuit boards. That needs fiber optics and gold. Computers need circuit boards and fiber optics. Can I connect those two? I can connect those two together. For small engines, we need hull plating and composites. So we need 2 matter printers. Easy enough. So we're going to put one on this side. Now we do have 3 computers. And what we need is reinforced frames and nano plating. But we can make one, and we're going to go ahead to that silica deposit. So we drop that down. Now what we need to do is we need to add power. We'll put an energy battery here and here. Build some solar panels here, and they'll also store some extra energy in case it does get misaligned. So this will keep producing silica for us. And now it'll hold up to 500 units of silica, so we have to check on it regularly. But 500 silica is really handy. This does not need to go into the furnace. It can go straight into the inventory. We also have that carbon deposit over here, so we should put that down as well. And do the same thing. A couple energy storage units with some solar powered generators. And get that carbon producing. We need a lot of carbon ore for those engines. If you notice the map, they do add waypoints for those items, so you can find them pretty easily. Now, after you get to the expansion 4, you'll start getting optional timed missions. Like this one wants 200 molecular bonding, and you'll get 24 reinforced frames for that. I have plenty of these fiber optics right now. We're going to shut off the glass fiber construction. That way we get the molecular bonding a lot quicker. Let's keep finding more asteroids. Ooh, nice big one there.
That's what she said.
And the next thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and build a small shipyard, which needs 25 nano plating, 10 reinforced frames, and 25 composite. Well, it's going to take a while to build that, because the nano plating is going to take a while to build. The more silica we can bring in, the faster that'll get made. Another meteor strike incoming down here to the south. Let's go take care of that. There they are. 2 of them. Not too bad. And it's a little easier to target them if you got a zoomed in window. I can imagine once you really get going with this, the resource chain is going to be insane. We've got a ton of hull plating. We need a lot of composite. So we're going to actually take one of our stacks, forcibly input it in there.
Oh my.
That should get those engines moving a little faster. We also need a bunch of computers, which need circuit boards, and the circuit boards aren't producing because there's no fiber optics, which has no glass fiber coming in. So let's also do that. Force some fiber optics in there, and that should get us more circuit boards for our computers. So let's start this chain back up for the glass fiber. We definitely need that now that we have silica ore that we're mining directly from a source. Okay, we got enough resources. We can now build our small shipyard, and let's just plop that right there for now. Solar generators out of alignment. Like always, make sure all of our stations have good solar power. The small shipyard, we actually queue up exactly what we want to build. So it's not going to build consecutive amounts. Now this Aeon Hopper needs hull plating, computers, and small engines. Well, we're actually going to grab our hull plating from here. So let's connect that up. And then the small engines and the computers come directly from our hub. So with this, it'll only take what it needs. It will not constantly feed it. And we finally got computers coming in. All right, once one's built, pick it up, move it out of the way. Let it stock up for the next one. We've got enough computers as well as engines and plenty of hull plating, but these 5 will get built pretty quick. The only thing we'll have to wait on is the 25 computers to be built. Number 3, there's number 4, and number 5. We've got enough circuit boards and enough fiber optics. We should be able to get the rest of those computers built pretty quickly. It just takes some time. It's 3 minutes per, so we'll see in about 45 minutes.
1 hour later.
There we go. 25 computers completed. Finish off this last primary mission. End a demo. Completing this objective will end the demo. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes. Our little ships went flying. We get some modules unlocked, but we don't actually get to use them, unfortunately, because it literally just boots you out of the game. I think that's great. We did a good job with this. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for coming down and watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment down below. And make sure you turn on your notifications to make sure you get updates for future videos that I do. This is Lakota Ravoc signing off. Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate you all. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye. What was that?
Dada.
You're welcome, buddy.